Okay, so welcome back to another glorious day in the Corps. We're doing the Mission 3 Survive, but this has been expanded out as well. So pretty much the same as last time, but with the caveat of that when Bishop brings the dropship in, we have a physical tile to do so. So the way the mission is going to work is currently Ripley and Newt are trapped up in the Medlab up there with two Facehuggers. So we've got to try and keep them alive until some of the other Marines can unbarricade those two doors. At that point, if Ripley makes her way over to that crate token and interacts with it, she has access to her weapons again. Currently, both her and Newt can't have any, well, Newt can't anyway, but Ripley can't have combat cards. She can only equip them once she interacts with that crate, so no combat knife for Ripley. As for the rest of the mission then, Xenomorphs are going to be coming in up the board. We have to try and survive as best we can. In order to help us do this, we have sentry guns placed, Gun A and Gun B. So we could put them anywhere on the board except in the room where Ripley and Newt are. And so with this one, I'm kind of hoping that they'll thin out the Xenomorph hordes coming from all the spawn points for a while, at least until we can get ourselves established and ready to go. Also, at the start of each turn from turn 4, we roll a Marine dice, and if the result is equal or less than the number on the turn dial, then Bishop has successfully called in this dropship and opened up an escape route for us. We then roll an alien dice. If it's 1 to 3, it pops in on this board. If it's 4 to 6, it pops in on this board. Motion tracker deck. We start with 3 threat level 1 and 3 threat level 2s, and then onto regular motion trackers. And we don't draw motion tracker cards until turn 2. The mission ends in failure if all characters are killed or captured. If just one of us gets out, then the mission is a success. Okay then, so start the Marine turn. Ripley activates. Currently no cards to shuffle back in, but we do draw one. Got a spare pistol. Now I can't actually equip that either until we interact with crate tokens, so that's not a get out of jail free card for us, unfortunately, just now. But then we do her 2 actions. So I'm still thinking that because I don't have access to Ripley's combat knife, she has a worse defense than Newt, and Newt doesn't really have a way of re-rolling, but Ripley does. So it'd be better to put Ripley at the back there and get her to rest, and get Newt there in front, because then Ripley's passive will allow her to re-roll failed defense for Newt. So that's the best way I think we're going to hold out with this one. So for the rest of them then, let's get some of these Marines up to try and help them. So we'll get Frost to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll get Gorman to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest of the Marines are probably going to get in the way from there, so we'll move them into the hallway so they can try and stem the Xenomorph tide when they eventually come through. So Vasquez will move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Hicks will move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and that's all our moves for the Marines. Because they took 2 actions to get to there, we can't actually try and unbarricade any of the doors yet. So straight into the alien phase, starting with active aliens on the board. We've got the 2 facehuggers there. So the first one comes in, moves 1, 2, and tries to attack Newt. Newt's defense value is 7, so we're looking for 7 or less. That is an 8, so that would be a fail. Let's activate Ripley's passive to get her to re-roll that. We exhaust a card to do so. Looking for 7 or less. There we go, that's a 6. So Newt's fine for now, but we've used the once per turn passive for Ripley. So next facehugger comes in. 1, 2, 3, attacks Newt as well. Looking for 7 or less. 10. Newt has a helmet, so if we fail a defense roll, if we get a green one, it counts as passing. If it's blue, we exhaust the card. We are really hoping for green here. It's another pistol. So that helmet gets exhausted, and unfortunately that facehugger goes straight onto Newt. So she's not dead yet, but the campaign will count as such, unfortunately. So for the rest of the alien phase then, activate blips. So blips on this board, how far do they move? 5. So first one moves, sentry gun B sees it, takes a shot. Okay, so sentry gun B is firing at the blip. We have 2 Marine dice. It hits on a 7 or less. Either. That's a star. That blip is destroyed. Next blip moves. Sentry gun fires again. 7 or less on either. That's a 4. That's destroyed. Next one moves. Sentry gun fires. 7 or less. That's a 3. Destroyed. And then the next one. Gun fires again, 7 or less on either. That's a 4. That is also destroyed. But the sentry gun is down to 5 shots worth of ammo remaining. Onto this board then. The blips, how far do they go? 5. So again, this one moves. Gun A sees it, takes a shot. 2 dice, needing 7 or less. There's a 7, that one's destroyed. This one then moves. The gun sees it. 2 dice, 7 or less. That's 6 and a 2. That one goes. Next one. Another round of ammo. 7 or less. 6. That one goes. And final one. 7 or less. 3. Okay. So all the initial starting blips have been annihilated by the starting sentry guns, but both of them are down to just 5 rounds of ammo each remaining. So let's see how long we can hold out then. So we don't move these blips, I don't think, until the board really attaches itself. So we'll not worry about those just yet. We'll move them when this board attaches one way or the other, because currently they have nowhere to go. So we'll ignore them for the purposes of now as we move into turn 2. So start the marine phase. Ripley activates. 1 card to recycle back in when Newt discarded a helmet. And then we draw 1. Hits yet another pistol. Okay, so still nothing Ripley can do at this point. Newt, our unwitting sacrificial lamb, has already got a facehugger on it. I think that means it would canonically go after Ripley, I suppose. So nothing much we can really do there. So we'll get both of those two. Oh, we'll get Ripley at least to rest for now. And as for Gorman, we'll try and unbarricade that door using his tech value. His tech is 5, so looking for 5 or less. 6, nope, fails the first one. Let's just do it again. Tech test, 5 or less. Oh, God's sake, Gorman. And since Gorman's blocking the door directly in front of the barricade, Frost can't actually come in and help with that. So net it would have been the same anyway, because if Gorman had stepped back and Frost had stepped in one, we still have only got 2 attempts at the same value, but still annoying. Let's get the Marines to move around then. We'll get Vasquez to move 1 to there. We'll get Hicks to move 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. And then we'll just get him to rest twice. Nothing particularly to recycle in. No, we'll recycle those in from my hand. Okay, and that's Marines done for turn 2. Start turn 2, alien phase. 1 active alien on the board. It tries to go after Ripley. So Ripley's defense value is 6. It gets a 2, which is actually equal to her melee value, so kills the facehugger as it tries to attach itself to it. Oh, at least there's no more pressing time on that we have to worry about, but could have still gone better. No more other active xenomorphs on the board. These blips aren't going anywhere for now because this board's not attached. So it is, however, turn 2, and so we start drawing motion tracker cards. First one, recycle a card. Second one, recycle a card. Not helpful because we got none to recycle, but oh well. Okay then, so moving into turn 3. So, start turn 3, marine phase. Ripley activates, no cards to recycle, but we do draw 1. Oh god. Place on the character, at the end of the character's activation, exhaust 2 cards. In addition, discard 2 cards if the character's in line of sight of an alien model. Ooh, okay, so that's going to hurt us in the long run. So I have to make sure that Ripley is not in line of sight of an alien model when she finishes her actions. Nothing really for Ripley to do at this point anyway, because she can't unbarricade that door herself, so because of that hazard we just have to exhaust 2 cards. Okay, let's get Gorman to have another go at the door then, needing 5 or less with the tech value. Nope. And his second action, also no, that door is still shut. The other Marines aren't really going anywhere, nothing really for them to shoot at currently, so they'll just both rest, get those cards back in. And that's all the Marines done. So going on to the alien phase. No active aliens on the board. These particular blips aren't going anywhere, so straight to motion tracker cards. First one, blip on 4. If it's not on spawn point within line of sight, it immediately moves 4 spaces. So blip is on 4 and moves 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Sentry gun B sees it, takes a shot. 7 or less on either. That's a 2 and a 4, destroys it. Next one. Blip on 2. If it's not in line of sight, it immediately moves 4. Blip spawns on 2. 1, 2, 3. Gun sees it. Spends another shot. 7 or less on either. Yep, that destroys as well. So, 3 rounds of ammo left in sentry gun B, but still no xenomorphs or blips in the immediate area, which is quite nice regardless. As we go into then turn 4. So, start of the turn, Ripley activates. No cards to recycle, but we draw one. Smart gun. Could use that later, we'll definitely hang on to that. Still nothing for her to do though, so she will rest for both turns. Come on, Gorman, get this door open. 5 or less. There we go. 1 barricaded door gone. Okay, then he won't be able to do anything if you move forward, so I'll get Frost to move forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who will then attempt to unbarricade that door. 5 or less. Nope, fails. The other Marines are fine where they are. They will just ready up. No problems there. Okay, so straight into the alien phase then. Hang on. At the start of turn 4, not the end, you roll the Marine die to see if the dropship turns up. On a 4 or less, because it's turn 4, the dropship shows. It does. That was quick. Good job, Bishop. Which side does it go on? 1 to 3, 4 to 6. 1 to 3. It appears here, down Sentry Gun A's path. So, Bishop has arrived with the dropship. Now, this does mean that these blips can move forward. Sentry Gun A has more ammo in it than B, which may prove a detriment to us trying to extract, because we kind of need that sentry gun to run out of ammo before we can really move down there. But there's a couple of blips there, so hopefully the gun will run dry before we have to press down that corridor. So, into the alien phase then. No active xenomorphs on the board, but now there are active blips. How far do they move? 5 spaces. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sentry gun can't see it there, it's everything in front of it that it sees. Next one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and wouldn't be able to finish there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, drawing motion tracker cards then. Blip on 3. If it's not in line of sight, it moves 4 spaces. 1.3 is not in line of sight, so it moves 1, 2, 3. Sentry gun A sees it, takes a shot. 2 dice, 7 or less. Gets a 6, that destroys it. Next motion tracker card. Oh, here we go. Place a tunnel token in a square in line of sight next to character. Oh god, so it's in the room with Ripley. Tunnel appears next to Ripley, who, I shall remind you, currently has no weapons. Reveal a card. It's yellow, and we place 1 blip on that tunnel token. 1 xenomorph has tunnelled into the med lab. It's a swarm of 5. So 5 xenomorphs have appeared next to Ripley and Newt. So not particularly looking good for them then. So going into then turn 5. Starver activation. Get an event. Okay, so for Ripley's first activation, we'll use this card then and reveal. See what it does. Oh, for God's sake, that did not go well. Well, that doesn't happen, so that gets exhausted. We reveal another card. It's green. We exhaust 8 endurance cards and then discard that. So that goes in the discard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not good, not what I was hoping for. So that was Ripley's first action, which activated that hazard. So for a second one, we will step over here and once more, very bravely, hide behind the doomed little girl. Okay, let's get Frost to activate. Please, we need this door open. 5 or less. No. Have another go. 5 or less. Yes, the door's open. That was both of Frost's actions though. Also, Ripley entered her turn within line of sight of a xenomorph. So, first of all, we need to exhaust 2 cards naturally, and then we discard 2. Let's get Newt to move out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and rest to get 4 cards back. Then we'll send in Gorman with the flamethrower. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he'll fire the flamethrower here, behind the xenomorph, so it splashes only onto that. So, spending 2 cards to fire the flamer. There are 5 xenomorphs in that pile, 7 or less to kill him. 1 dead. 2 dead. Off the table. 1 lives. Another dead. Only 1 survives. Very good use of the flamethrower, but we'll have to see if that takes a casualty for us later. These Marines outside, Hicks and Vasquez, still nothing really for them to do, so let's just get them all to rest to get all these cards back in hand. Okay then, so start the alien phase then. Xenomorph can currently attack Gorman, and I did read that if it stood next to you, you can't make defensive fire. Let me just double check that. Okay, the way the rules are written indicates that they shouldn't be able to fire defensive fire if the Xenomorph starts next to them when it attacks. It's if it moves into a space next to them you can fire defensively. So Gorman can't fire defensively, and neither can anybody else because it's right next to him. So we just make an attack with the Xenomorph then. Gorman's defense value is 4 and his melee is 1. Okay, so that would knock him down. I could re-roll that with Ripley's ability, but I don't want to because I don't want to run the risk of him dying. So we shall just knock Gorman down for now. No other alien models on the board, so we'll do blips. Blip on this tile, moves 3 spaces, moves into the line of sight sentry gun A, takes a shot. 7 or less on either. Yep, that kills it. Blips on this one. They move 3. 1, 2, takes a shot. 7 or less. That's a 5, destroys. This one, 1, 2, 3, moves into line of sight. 7 or less. That's a 2. That one's destroyed as well. This one, 1, 2, 3. So not in line of sight of the turret, and the turret only has 1 shot of ammo left. So, drawing the first motion tracker card. 2 blips on 1. Either exhaust 4 cards or place another at 4. Don't much care about 4, because that's not where we need to go. So, we'll place the 2 on 1 and 1 on 4. So 1, 2 on 1, and a blip on 4. Next one. Oh, for God's sake, place a tunnel. I am going to exhaust the Hadley's Hope map to shuffle the motion tracker card I just drew back into the motion tracker deck. Okay, and that's everything for turn 5. Moving on to turn 6. So, Marine phase. Ripley activates. First off, oh, hang on. Oh no, we did that last time. Yep, so recycle 1 card back in and draw. Oh, come on! Okay, so reveal a card. It's yellow, draw 2 endurance cards. Oh, okay, that actually worked in our favour. Yep, so we drew a yellow card with the reveal, which has allowed us to draw 2 extra cards into our hand. So, and then this one gets recycled. Not too bad, actually worked out in our favour. And that one was the reveal, so that goes back in as well. Okay then, and so for Ripley's activations, she's going to get out of dodge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and she'll be able to get her weapons from that crate next turn. As for the other Marines then, Frost can't currently see from there, so he does need to get in the room with the Xenomorph. So he will step 1, 2 to there. Do we fire the flamer? Well, he's only got grenades as a backup weapon, so yes. So we'll spend 2 cards to fire the flamer in that corner again. 1, 2. And on a 7, that Xenomorph dies. That's a 10. It lives. Oh, not good, not good, not good. Okay, for one of Newt's actions, we're going to activate this card because there's one that may let us take another action. It's a green. Choose another character, they immediately take an action. Yes, just what we needed. Choosing Frost to take another action. He will fire off his flamer again. 2 cards. 7 or less to kill that Xenomorph. Oh, come on. Look, he's not with us today. Xenomorph's still alive. Okay, Newt started there, so we'll get her to rest twice to recycle all these cards back in. Then we'll get Hicks to move this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's us done. So, start of the Marine phase. Gorman is knocked down next to an active Xenomorph. He gets captured by that Xenomorph and dragged off to the hive. So we may have to decide if we want to rescue him later or not. Okay, rest of alien activations. Let's roll this blip here, because there's no other Xenomorphs on the board. 6. 1, 2. Sentry gun sees it, takes its last shot. 7 or less. Destroys it. That blip's gone, but that sentry gun has ran dry. These two blips here, they move 1. 1, 1. This blip down here, move 6. 1, 2, 3. Sentry gun B sees it, takes a shot. 7 or less. That's a 4, destroys it. So, Sentry Gun A is out of ammo. Sentry Gun B only has 2 shots left. Let's draw some motion tracker cards. 2 blips on 1. Either exhaust 8 cards or discard a shoulder lamp or flare. We have a shoulder lamp on Frost that we will discard because we need those 8 cards. I think they're going to be quite handy later. But we spawn 2 blips on 1. 1, 2. So we're right around the corner where we need to be. Also, Ripley's hazard, even though she was out of line of sight of a Xenomorph, we still need to exhaust 2 cards at the end of her activation. Okay, and that was the first motion tracker card. 2 blips on 4. After you place blips, move each blip in play 3 spaces. So, 2 blips on 4, they move 3. 1, 2, 3. Sentry Gun B sees it, takes a shot, destroys it. Next one, 1, 2, 3. Sentry Gun sees it again, destroys it. So that's those blips gone, but both sentry guns are completely out of ammo now. And these blips move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And so since they're stood next to those doors, Vasquez can see these now, so we flip them. 4 and 1, and I don't think she can draw a line of sight to that one just yet. So 5 Xenomorphs in the open doorway. So 5 Xenomorphs and a couple more around the corner are blocking our escape route to the dropship as we move into turn 7. Okay then, start the marine phase. Ripley activates. Recycle those 2 cards back in. Draws 1. Pulse rifle. So for a first activation, we'll interact with that crate to make it go away. Ripley now has access to her weapons, which is a pulse rifle and a combat knife. For a second action, she'll move 5 this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And actually, oh no, stick her there, so it stops her from entering line of sight with those Xenomorphs down that way. So we just exhaust 2 cards instead of discarding 2. We'll get Newt to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Newt can see Ripley from there, I think. Yep. So we'll exhaust 2 cards to drag Ripley along to. Yep, and since it's not her activation, she doesn't discard the 2 cards. Frost will activate, moving 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Vasquez is going to open up into that pile of Xenomorphs there. There is currently 4 in that stack. Spending 2 cards to fire off with a smart gun. Hitting on 6 or less on either dice. Double 10. Okay. Let's use second action to go again. 5s or less. Okay, we kill 1. Spend a card. 4s or less. Kills another. Spend a card. 3s or less. No. So we kill 2 Xenomorphs with the smart gun. Hicks can see the Xenomorphs from there, so we'll get him to fire off his pulse rifle into the closest one. Spends a card to do so. Hits the first one of this group of 2 on a 6 or less. Kills 1. Spend a card, 5 or less. No. Okay, so for Hicks's last action, instead of shooting again, we're going to spend 2 cards to do this, to set a character's aim dial to that character's aim number in order to reset Vasquez's aim dial. So it goes from 2 to 6. So hopefully when we start defensive firing, that will come in handy. Okay, so alien phase. First Xenomorph runs up. 1, 2, tries to have a go at Vasquez. We'll fire off Hicks and his pistol first because we might kill it as a freebie. So hitting on a 4 or less with the pistol. That's a 3. Hits and kills. Next Xenomorph runs in. 1, 2. Has a go at Vasquez. Let's try with Hicks's pistol again. Pistol always hits on a 3 or less. Nope. Spend a card, try again. 3 or less. No. So we'll get Vasquez to fire off with a smart gun, spending 2 cards to do so. 6 or less on either dice. That's a star. Kills the Xenomorph. Okay, no more active Xenomorphs on the board. Blips. These blips move 1 space. 1, 1. This one is in line of sight. It's 3 Xenomorphs. So another 3 Xenomorphs are waiting around the corner. So let's go to motion trackers. First card. 2 blips on 3. Each character in line of sight must discard 1 card. Nobody's in line of sight of spawn point 3, but we get 2 blips. Next card. Single blip on 3. If it already has a blip, it moves 4 spaces. There is a blip on it, so it moves 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and Sentry Grenade is out of ammo. Marine phase then. So, first off, Ripley activates, and we recycle 2 cards back in, and then we draw 1. Another smart gun. I think the game might be trying to tell me something here. We'll get Ripley to move 1, 2, 3, and then rest to recycle 3 cards back in. But she has ended a turn, and she's not in line of sight because Newt and Hicks are in the way, so she exhausts 2 cards instead of discards. Let's get Vasquez to open up with that smart gun. So, spending 2 cards to do so. Hit on 6 or less on either dice. That's a star, kills 1. Spend another card. 5s or less. No. That is her first action. So for a second action, we shall spend another 2 cards to fire again. This time hitting on 4s or less on either dice. That's a 3, kills 1. 3s or less. That's a 3, kills. Good stuff. Okay then, so let's get Hicks to move up and see what this blip down here is. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can see both of those blips from there. That's 4 Xenomorphs and 1 Xenomorph. Okay, so Hicks rounds the corner and there's 4 Xenomorphs waiting there. So for a second action, we'll fire off with the pulse rifle, spending a card to do so. Hits on a 6 or less. That's a 6, kills 1. Spend again, 5 or less. No, so just kills the 1. Okay, let's get Frost to activate. He moves 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's the Marine phase done. So moving into the Alien phase. Active Xenomorphs. This one moves up and has a swipe at Hicks. So we'll get Hicks to defensive fire his pulse rifle. Spends a card to do so. Hits on a 4 or less. Misses. Spend 2 cards to get Vasquez to shoot with a smart gun. 2s or less. No. Frost only has a grenade as a backup weapon and you can't fire a flamethrower defensively. And Ripley can't see. So it takes a swipe at Hicks. There are 3 in that stack, so adding 2 to this result. Oh, god damn, that's a 10. Okay, is Ripley in range for her reroll? 4 spaces of Ripley. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ripley is not in range for her reroll. So we're going to have to rely on Hicks's body armour. So reveal a card. We are looking for green or yellow. Nope. Body armour gets exhausted, and that's Hicks dead. Hicks has also been killed. Oh no, it's all going wrong. Okay, next Xenomorph moves up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Blips on the board. How far do they go? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw motion tracker cards. Blip on 2. There is no other blip on spawn point 2, so it stays where it is. Next one. 2 blips on 1. Either exhaust 4 cards or place another at 4. You can have the extra blip at 4, don't much care about that. And 2 blips on spawn point 1. Moving into turn 8 is looking very hairy for our band of Marines. So I think we're just going to have to get Ripley to bite the bullet because we need the firepower at this point. Okay, so first off in the Marine phase, Ripley activates. Recycle 2 cards and then draw 1. Okay, then we'll get it to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. And she will fire into the lead pack of Xenomorphs there, spending a card to do so. Hits on a 7 or less. Kills one. Spend another card. Hits on a 6 or less. Nope, misses. And that's Ripley done. Because she's ended in line of sight of a Xenomorph, not only do we exhaust 2 cards, we discard 2 cards. Okay, Newt's doing nothing useful there right now, so we'll get to rest twice, try and get 8 of these cards back in hand. Vasquez to go. So spending 2 cards to use the smart gun. 2 dice, 6s or less. Kills 1. Spend another card, 5s or less. Nope, misses. Spend 2 cards again. Fire again. 4s or less. No, misses. Oh, this is going horribly wrong. So let's get Frost to move in. 1, 2, 3. Hang on. Is there 1, 2? 1, 2, 3, 4. And fires flamethrower here. He can see this blip down here, by the way. It's 1 Xenomorph. So firing the flamer there between those 2. Spending 2 cards to do so. Lead alien dies on a 7 or less. Lives. The rear one also lives. Okay, this might be the end. We're going into the alien phase. Lead one is already right next to Frost, so we can't fight defensively, any of us. So, Frost's defense value is 4 and his melee is 1. Oh, survives. Okay, I'll take that. Next alien moves up. 1, 2, and has a go at Frost, but because he moved, we can actually attack him. So we'll get Ripley to spend a card, hitting on a 4 or less. Yes, kills it. Next Xenomorph, move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is in range. Has a go at Frost as well. Spend a card for Ripley to have a go. 3 or less. Oh, yes. Kills it. Good, 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 good. And then we've got the blips on the board. On this board, how far do they move? 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is in range of Frost. It's 4 Xenomorphs. So another 4 Xenomorphs have a go at Frost. We'll spend 2 cards for Vasquez to shoot off his smart gun. Hitting on 3s or less with either dice. Nope. Ripley will spend a card. Hitting on a 2? Yes. Kills 1. Come on, Ripley. Spend another card. Might as well. We're in deep at this point. Only a star will kill. No. Very much wishful thinking. And nobody else can fight defensively. So 3 Xenomorphs attack Frost, adding 2 to this roll. His defense value is 4, his melee is 1. Yeah, that's dead. However, Ripley is in range, so we get her once per round reroll. That's still dead. Frost didn't even have his body armor. That's him gone. So Frost is dead as well. Okay, and the rest of the blips still need to move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 Xenomorphs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, more Xenomorphs are appearing. So, more Xenomorphs have rounded the corners in front of the Marines. Okay, yeah, this is not looking good for us. Moving then into turn 9 for the Marines. So, Ripley activates. Recycle 2 cards and draw 1. Spare helmet. I don't think that's going to help us at this point. So let's get Ripley to try and cut down some of these Xenomorphs. Spend a card to hit into the one of its own. 7 or less. Misses. Second action. Spend a card to shoot the same target. 6 or less. Kills it. And spend a card to shoot one of the 2 next to him. 5 or less. Misses. That's Ripley done. She's in line of sight 2 Xenomorphs. We discard 2 cards because of that hazard. Vasquez to go. So, spending 2 cards for the smart gun. Into the lead pair of Xenomorphs. 6 or less on either dice. Yep, kills 1. Spend a card. 5s or less. No, just kills the 1. So for a second action, spend 2 more cards. Same target, 4s or less. That's a 4. Kills it. Fire into the let's fire into the pack. Spend another card. 3s or less. No, misses. And then we'll get Nuke to rest twice to try and get some of these cards back. Okay then, into the alien phase. This alien moves up, 1, 2, in range of both, so we'll randomise it, 1 to 3, it hits Ripley. It's going after Vasquez. So let's get Ripley to defensive fire, spends a card to do so, hits on a 5 or less, kills it. Next Xenomorphs move in, 1, 2, 3, same deal, randomise, 1 to 3 they attack Ripley, they're attacking Vasquez again. So spend a card with Ripley for defensive fire, hits on a 4 or less, nope. Spending 2 cards for Vasquez, hitting on 2s or less on either, nope. Takes a swipe at Vasquez. Her defense value is 3 and a melee of 1, adding 2 to the result. Adding 2 to the result, that's a 10, that would kill Vasquez. Ripley activates her reroll to try and reroll that defense. Oh, that's a kill as well. Okay, Vasquez has a helmet. Okay, reveal a card, looking for a green. We're getting the green. It counts as passing the defense roll. Oh god, that's so lucky. Okay, no other active Xenomorphs on the board. There are some blips, however, on here. They move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Motion tracker cards. Place 2 blips on each token and spawn point. Okay, so a lot of Xenomorphs are heading our way, and that's only the first motion tracker card. Place another tunnel next to a character. So, tunnel gets placed next to Ripley. Reveal a card. It's blue, so place 2 blips on every tunnel token. Okay, so we got blips all over the place. These are right next to Ripley, so we can reveal them. 4 Xenomorphs, 2 Xenomorphs. Okay, so we're relatively surrounded by aliens at this point as moving into the next turn and the marine phase. So first off, first we've got to reshuffle these. Okay, so I've added the 2 back in that Ripley would have shuffled back in, and then we draw 1. Spare pulse rifle, really don't care at this point. What we really need to do is get out of dodge. Okay, we are kind of surrounded there, so even if Ripley were to move to the space next to her, she would still be entering a space next to a Xenomorph, so she's stuck. So, I think we're past the point of being conservative about our ammo, so let's exhaust 3 cards to give Ripley a smart gun. I think we just need it at this point. So that goes away, as does the combat knife, because she can't have a backup weapon with a smart gun. And let's get her to shoot into those Xenomorphs right in front of her, spending 3 cards to do so because she's not Vasquez, she is not trained in it. So first one, 7 or less on either. Kills 1 for 5, spends a card, 6 or less on either. Kills another, spend another card, 5 or less on either. Yes, and because of that, that entire stack of Xenomorphs goes away. Okay, so we've cleared a path for us now, so I think we're just going to have to absolutely book it. So Ripley will move 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Newt will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and at the end of her activation we'll exhaust 2 cards so that she pulls Ripley along 1, 2 spaces. Vasquez will just releg it as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's just trying to make our escape. We are in a very desperate situation here as we move into the alien phase. 2 active Xenomorphs on the board, they move 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that one has a swipe at Ripley. We do have some cards for defensive fire. Vasquez will exhaust 2 cards, hitting on 6s on either dice. Kills 1. Spend another card, 5s or less. Kills. Spending another card, 4s or less. No, that is a miss. So that did kill 2 Xenomorphs, however. Ripley can fire defensively. That would use a lot of our cards though. Yeah, it's do or die at this time, so we'll get Ripley to activate, exhausting 3 cards to do so. Defensive firing with her smart gun. She's hitting on 4s or less on either. Misses! Okay, 2 Xenomorphs take a swipe at Ripley, so we add 1 to the result. Ripley's defense value is now 6. 4. So adding 1 becomes 5. She is fine. She survives the attack. Next Xenomorph moves up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Blips on the board. This one, how far do they go? 2 spaces. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. This one can be seen from there. It's 2 Xenomorphs. This one can be seen. It's another 2 Xenomorphs. Okay, so some more Xenomorphs have appeared on the flanks trying to entrap us in. Blips on this board, how far do they move? 5. Blips on this board, how far do they go? 4 spaces. So, still not looking good for our Marines as we move into the next turn, but there is a slim but closing escape path and we're really going to have to take advantage of it. I forgot about Ripley's hazard. We have to discard 2 cards because she's finished in line of sight. The Xenomorph. Motion trackers. Please be nice. Single blip on 1. Blip on 1. Recycle a card. Thank you. Okay, entering the next turn then for the Marines. Ripley activates, recycling 2 cards, and then she draws 1. Okay, Ripley activates, moving twice for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So close to the dropship. Nuke moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we get to rest and recycle some cards back in? I mean, no, we kind of can't. We either go or we don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vasquez, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and that's our Marines done. So we go to the alien phase. Active Xenomorph moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and has a swipe at Vasquez. We'll spend a card for, well, we'll have to spend 2 cards actually for Vasquez to defensive fire. Hit on 6s or less. Kills 1. Spend another card. Hits on 5s or less. Yes, kills it. They both go away. Next Xenomorph moves 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Blips on this board. Where do they move? 2 spaces. So 1 can't get past his mates. 1, 2, 1, 2. Blips on this board. 6 spaces. Blips on this board. 5. 1, 2. Okay, so blips have all moved up. Now going for motion tracker cards. First one. Single blip on 4. If it's not in line of sight, it moves 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one. Blip on 1. Reveal a card. It's blue, so we place another blip at spawn 2. So 1 blip on 1 and 1 blip on 2. Okay, Ripley did end a turn that time within line of sight of Xenomorph, so we did need to discard 2 cards from last time. Reshuffle these, we've only got 3 left. Okay, and yeah, Marines to activate. Get the hell on the dropship. Okay. So we managed to evacuate Ripley, Newt and Vasquez. However, Frost was killed. Hicks was killed. Gorman has been dragged off to the alien hive. That did not go well at all. Sure, mission success, but oh god, that's horrific. So, the campaign continues. We still have active and alive characters, but it's looking quite bleak here. But that's just what you serve sometimes when you have another glorious day in the Corps. Thank you for joining us on this one. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Hopefully it's not the last one, but there's only one way to find out, isn't there?